Hey guys, Susanna here. I am going to be filming the cathedral window for my journal piece. I've actually sewn the edges on together. Excuse me. Um, I'm pre-recording this, so hence you can hear that I've still got the cold. I've only just finished doing this one yesterday, so I thought, while I've got it out, I've sewn the extra piece on and I've got the extra bits and pieces that I need. So that's for my cathedral window, and then this is going to be for my stump work, and this is the last page. I actually might do on this last page, I might do just, like a number thing, first page, and just write down all the different techniques or whatever it is. So because I have got it for this book, and I think pretty much, and I've made it here, that's all I will fit. I don't think I will fit any more. Yeah, so doing the 12 months I think is enough for me. So what I have done, I really quite like how he's turned out, and it's not too bad. I was a bit worried that it may not match that. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, it doesn't look great, but I've determined to put this piece in, and I got this from the Sewing Lair when I was in Queensland, because we don't have one in Victoria. And the cathedral window is actually quite quite large when you do it, and this is 2.5-inch squares. And hopefully I'll try and speak as loud as I can. I know I'm a bit quiet. When I got a cold, I was listening back to my video with the bird and I was quite quiet. So I did it 2.5-inch squared, and I really wanted to get it so that I could cut this and put it underneath here and have it showing through. And then I'm probably going to do a little bit more embroidery and bits and pieces. So I'm just sort of showing you a cathedral window, like one. So this is 2.5-inch squares, and I cut up a few 2.5-inch squares, so I will probably end up using this one that I've pre-done in I might finish making up these and maybe make a little four and just make a little small quilt, but I bought a pack of this, so I might even use them up and do how many ever I can out of this little charm pack. It's called Bliss. I think it's Moda. So I just got it from my local quilt shop. Just gorgeous. Okay, so what I do need to do is put that aside. So, and I use some of this as well, because I thought I'm going to sew most of it on the machine, and when I folded this over, like I'm folding that over, I stitched it with I haven't used these before. These are silk, beautiful silk threads that I got from France. Aren't they beautiful? And I thought, well, that matches perfectly, and it's really nice to sew with. So, yep. That one is like pastel, and then there's these bluey colours, which are some of my favourites. And then I bought a pack of pink with all the different types that you can get from that company. So I'll put that up there. I'm going to be using that one. Yeah, so what I have done is I've cut them up, 3-inch squares. So what I'm going to have to do is put this away, take that out. So normally I have, show a book or bits and pieces on cathedral, just to show you, but I thought I had a cathedral window book, but I don't. I got rid of a whole heap of stuff, and I think I might have got rid of that in that lot. So what you do is, so I've cut them out 3 inches, and then I need more pieces here. So I'm going to take these off, but this is what I need to be doing for my piece. So if you are only going to be planning on making one and putting it in a little window like me, you just copy exactly what I'm doing. But if you are going to be making a, like more of a, 4 pieces joined together, then you would do what it says on the video. I'm going to link a video below, so I'll just, where I found the technique on how to do this. So excuse me, I need a drink. Oh, it's quite draining, this jolly cold, but getting better every day. So I've cut out 5 because you need a centerpiece. What you need to do is you just need to cut out squares. Now that charm pack, where is it? If you want, you can use that, they're 5-inch 5-inch squares, and I've cut them into 4, which gives me 4 lots of 2.5. But now I thought, well, that wasn't quite big enough, so I thought if I upped it to 3, I think it may be big enough by the time, yeah, I think it may cover it. It might come out a little bit there. We'll see how we go. So you're going to be learning along with me. I'm going to be cutting up some of this. So have a good look. I would suggest to watch the video that I will link in this in the description below. Okay, I'm just going to put the iron on. Ugh. And sometimes things go off, which is really annoying. Sorry guys. There goes my iron. Might give that a quick iron. Yeah, so whatever squares you use, as long as it's square and they're all the same size square. So if you want to make one this size, you could probably get 4 that size and do whatever page you're doing. But I thought 2.5-inch squares were probably going to be a good size for my, the here, but it turns out it's not quite. I thought I'd be able to get a few more in there, but no. So, excuse me, I might just pause it until I get properly set up. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back again. What I did is cut 8 for myself of this plain print. Now normally they use in the lot of videos that I show that I've watched, they use a white. Some of them even use black if you want to do that. But I thought I'd just have that really nice pretty colour. So what I'm going to do, just get that mark out of that. There we go. Ooh. Oh no. That's why it went like that. It's got this sticky stuff on the other side. Oh well. It's going to give it texture, isn't it? And it's sort of shrunk it a little bit and made it, warped it. It's because it's an iron-on thing. Because I got it from somewhere in there. Now it's all sort of a bit warped, but I'm cutting that out anyway. And because I ironed it on there, it's got a yucky thing. So what you do with these, you just keep these as is. These are the extra bits that I've cut out. Now these bits, and I've got the whopping great iron, because the other ones are dyed on me, is you need to iron these in half. And I thought, well, I've got the iron out, so we iron these in half. because this is a homespun, I have no idea what's the front and what's the back. It looks the same to me. Yeah, I think this might be the front. Okay, so we'll just do that, and you do this no matter how big your piece is going to be. Now it explains on that other video that I've linked below. She will show you how to put you know, it all together, and she does a lot of stuff on the machine. I do gonna do stuff on the machine, but I am going to do it by hand as well. So I do both because that, as you know, that's what I do. I do a lot of stuff by hand, so I'll do stuff on the machine where I need to. Now, oh, I can't believe that this jolly thing has warped so badly. Oh, I'm going to have a look if it still fits. 10. Yeah, it does, but it's warped real bad. Okay, so I'll grab these pieces and I might put that over there, put it away, put this away. Now what you do, so I'll leave that there like that. You'll see it gets, when I iron on there, it gets rather warm. Is you close that, make sure that that's closed. Now I'm going to lay out my piece, and I'm picking one for the center, and I thought these flowers might be nice in the center. Either those flowers in the center, or I will go and have that in the center. I don't know, but I think that would be nice. It's fairly light and it sort of matches what I've got there. So what we do is you get your 4 pieces. I might add do it like that, so it's got all those edges. Now we do this. Okay, so you fold them over, bring it up, so the raw edges are on the inside. Okay, like this. Yep. Then you get, now I usually like to pin them because I don't trust the bit. Okay, we might do that. Okay, that and that. So you fold that over, and in a sandwich, and you sew. Sew across. I might even get a little pin in there, make sure it doesn't go anywhere, make sure it doesn't move on you. So make sure it's those pieces, this middle piece. So I'm just going to put that there. We're sewing that way. Okay. So I will pause and go onto my sewing machine. And sew. Okay, I will be back. Okay, I'm back again. So what you need to do with these bits, see that, make sure it's those 2 inner bits that are being sewn, and they're like that. So what you need to do is go to the iron and open it like that, maybe give it a finger press now, because there's quite a few layers in there, and you really don't want it to be, you know, there is quite a lot of layers. So we're just going to iron that flat. Maybe I'll bring it over here. Look at the steam. Come around, do it the other way as well. Okay, and then what we're going to do is put those two pieces together. Make sure it's not going to move. Yep. I'm only just showing you one, so you know, when you do sew these, you would just have these, you know, sewn, and you'd be on the machine and you'd, you know, sew a few and iron a few and just do everything in one go. Okay, so we're going to do that and make sure that's attached there. And I never usually go back and forth. So when that's sewn, that's what you're going to end up with. So I'll be back and I'll show you after it's sewn. Okay, I'm back again. See, these bits have been sewn together. So what we need to do is open that up. Finger press that. There is a, you know, like old school way of doing these. When I was going to my quilt shop and asked her if, you know, she's got any pattern, she said, oh, there's much easier ways of doing it now, and the old school way. I'll bring it over here, hang tent. Yeah, they don't sell the old patterns anymore, so what I need to do now, that's being ironed down flat. Okay, is we get our piece, and I'm going to put it in there like that. Yeah, I think that's nice. And when I did that one, I didn't do this, and I'm going to put a bit of glue because I don't want it to move on me. Okay, especially in the middle. So we open up, see, they're all the same size, so I want to have the flowers going in the middle. Okay, and then this is where the magic happens. And it's really quite a neat little trick. Okay. Yeah. There. There. And there. Now we get these and we fold them over, and because it's on the bias, it does fold over rather nicely, and that's where we get the little cathedral window coming from. I might just pin that in there like that. Then we're gonna come across and want them joining. And what she does is on the video is she gets on the machine and stitches them down really close to the edge, but I'm like, I am going to hand sew these. Got to do a bit of hand sewing, so I'm doing it and trying to get it so it folds over like that. There we go. And then the last one, having it folds over there. How cute is that? There's quite a few little ways of doing, you know, these little pieces. Now, I'm going to have a look at my warped piece. I'm going to have to come back with the scissors and straighten it up. Oh, no, not that one. This one, because it just looks ridiculous. Okay, now that is definitely big enough. So some of that will be sitting behind there. So by the time I sew that down, that will be big enough. So that what I'll do now. Oh man, I am thirsty. Is get my thread. Where are we? Get a nice fine needle. Here we go. That's the one I used last time. I quite like that. I think it's quite nice. Some more water again. Move some of these things back out of the way. And grab my silk thread from France. So nice to be using, isn't it gorgeous? I just love those colours. And I find when you're doing applique, silk thread is beautiful. And that what I'm doing here is like applique. So yeah, so if you want to go on the machine, if you're more inclined to go on the machine, but I am going to hand stitch this. Okay. Hopefully I've got enough to go around. My little iron's making all sorts of noises. Okay. I'll grab my thimble. And maybe zoom it in a little because it's a bit closer work. Here we go. And this is probably all we'll get done today. So what I'll do, so you want to have it as close as possible, because even when it's done like that, you really, they do tend to move. So I might come in up here, hold that down. Maybe even come in. That's going to be in behind anyway. Okay. Be a little bit tricky when you first start. Once you start stitching, not so bad. This sort of reminds me of applique. English paper piecing is what I'm trying to get out. Okay, grab that. And in the coming weeks, because it's usually, you know, a bit more of a a parter of, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 parter. And there goes my iron. Just trying to stitch it down. There we go. I may, you know, I may come back and do some other stitching. Embroidery work around it, because it's, you know, traditional like vintage sewing, but with a slow stitching twist, as I've done in most of my pieces, doing it the Susie way. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's such a nice thread to sew with. Beautiful. So, yes, this can be a really easy piece that you just put in your journal and be done with it. Or if you really like the look of this, you can create yourself a big quilt, you know, or even a lap quilt. Or I'm going to end up sewing, I don't want this to go to waste. I'd like to finish sewing up the rest of them. At the end of the video that I've linked below, she actually shows using that technique, doing the 2.5-inch squares, and it looks really good when they're all put together. So it's, you know, the video is about 8 years old, so it is definitely, and that's a newer technique. So, you know, it's an old pattern, an old design, that's for sure. But this is a really easy way of doing this design, because it can be quite tricky. Actually, I might just come up here and then fold that over. There we go. Come up. Yeah, once you start, it's not so bad. And because it's a similar colour to which is what I'd recommend, whatever you're using. If you're using white or black, you would do this stitch using that colour thread. I probably could try and do it smaller again, so it's a little bit more invisible, but I don't mind that you can see it a little bit. I mean, if you did it on the machine, you'd be able to see the whole machine stitch on there. So I definitely want to come back in some of the later episodes of this and, you know, do some embroidery. I like the way that you got this little gap. It's really nice. It's giving it it's a real 3D pattern, which is quite nice. She used 4 different squares. If you wanted to, you could probably use all the same colour and just have different centres. I think that would be nice. There. Opportunities are endless with this design. When you go up onto YouTube and you put in Cathedral Windows, there's quite a few tutorials, and there's different ways of doing it. You've got some traditional ways, some new ways, and I thought I'm just going to find the easiest way. When I saw this one where you're just using all the same squares, same size squares, I thought that's what I want. Would be really nice making a bigger quilt in this, but you know, like doing it, sewing it on the machine like she's done in the video, but to get done nice and quick. So okay, now hold this over, coming up here. There we go. And then what we are going to do, I'll probably show you the next part in next week's video. I've got a whole month to make this, but you'll get the drift of what I need to do. Like we're going to be sewing these pieces on the outside. So if you want to do that, I thought I can show you, like I'll actually show you on the next video, but if you think you know and you've got a bit of confidence, what we're going to do is I'll just get you to sew you know, around the edge, and then we fold this back, and that gives you that really pretty shape. So I was determined to use my piece that I you know, that as a center, this piece here, because I really liked it. Might have to get some of these bits off. Yeah, and the colour went really well with what I was using anyway. So mine is just going to be super easy, my sample piece, which is basically what this journal is about. You know, it's going to be a reference and a sample piece. And the fact that it's called Cathedral Window, I sort of wanted to make it into a window. So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. I know that Corinne is making hers more of a, you know, like a bit more of more pieces sewn together. So you could probably watch what she's done. But it's good that we're doing something a little different. It's always nice to see different ideas. Such pretty fabric. I like vintage, but I don't mind new stuff either. I've got some beautiful fabrics out there. Definitely got a long enough piece. I was hoping that I'd have enough to go around. It's definitely long enough. Okay, so I'll probably leave it at that and then come back next week and you know, sew it around, and then I'll do the same, do this part, and then we could probably put it behind our little window. Okay, oop, it's going to be sewn here, come up, lucky last. There we go. Such pretty colours. I love it. If you're making it into a bigger quilt, I would definitely sew it on the machine. But because it's so small, I think in the quilt that she's done in the thing, she used 5-inch squares, so the pieces are bigger, a lot easier to sew on the machine, which is good. Okay, getting there. It was one of these pieces that I'm like, is it really, like, well, I suppose it's a quilting technique, and there's so many different quilting techniques you can do. Oop. Oh, bye. So I'm like, is it really a sewing technique? Don't know, but definitely a quilting technique. Tiny little holes, hard to get through. So I hope I don't have all the quilting police on my doorstep saying, that's not how you do it. I'll just say, look, I got it from a video, a proper quilters video. And all this is a sample of how you can make cathedral windows, which is what I want. So you make it work for you. Okay, nearly there, nearly there. There we go. Go down. Pretty. Such nice thread. It just slides through, I suppose, being silk. It really does. Looks like they look like machine thread, but I don't know. I'm definitely going to be using them to do hand stitching. I'll keep this thread to do some of the others. So what we need to do, so pretty, so pretty. I'll have it going that way. Yes. Okay. They will be maybe I'll just use a little one, because this is going to be the bit you really don't want to move. Okay, make sure the ironed edge, it's the raw edges that go on the outside, and as you can see, it, it never ends up being as square as you want it to. Okay. There you go. Where'd it go? Okay. Move that over. Now, when you're making a bigger piece, like more of them together, these ideally on another square, which end up, you know, like, yeah, she shows you how to do it. So I'm just going to stitch really quite close to the edge, meaning this, and then that's going to be folded over like that, and I'll hold that down. And then in next week's one, I'll show you how I actually stitch it into this. My warped piece. I wish I hadn't ironed it. My goodness. So yeah, still fits into the book okay, because look, it seems a little big. I may not get to see all of it. Oh well, this may end up going in there after all. I don't know, but I might cut it so it's, you know, a bit over, so it suits, which is probably not a bad thing. So what I'm going to do with this, there we go, got a bit in the middle. Go to the edge. Like that. Now, I might just, see, I'm jumping the gun. And it's okay that those bits are over to the edge. Okay. So what they will do, I'm probably going to go over a little bit more, so I will cut to the corner here and here, even though I reckon I'm probably going to go a bit further over, which maybe they go. There we go. So what I do, I am going to, that'll be folded over like this. So I'll definitely keep that. Yeah, I think it's going to look good. But I might make it a little bit longer on the other side and just do a different edging. I think it, because I've got a bit of room here. So I'll go off and sew that, and then I will be back next time showing you how to insert it into that piece. Oh, I really love the colour, and then it'd be nice once you can see that's being folded over like that. That'll be gorgeous. Okay, I'll see you in next week's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.